We've got high tech on the high seas and some very big guns. Ahoy there, mateys! I'm Lauren Finnegan, and welcome to Geek Beat. Hey everybody, I'm Lauren, and in case you haven't guessed, yes, this is my very first episode of Geek Beat. I'm super excited to be here and looking forward to getting to know you all. I've been hanging out over on the Geek Beat Slack chat, so if you aren't there yet, just head over to geekbeat.tv/Slack to get your free invite and join in the fun. But for now, let's get on with the show. Well, it ain't your father's Navy anymore. Turns out the high seas are becoming super crowded with robots, UAVs, and all sorts of high-tech weaponry. For example, the Navy is preparing to launch swarm bots out of cannons. Yep, you heard that right. The US Navy has a program to launch about 30 drones out of a big cannon-like tube, and they call it low-cost UAV swarming technology, or LOCUST. I mean, seriously, you gotta give it up for the awesome name. Even if we know soon there will be robotic attacks raining down on us from God knows where. Biblical catastrophe style. Aerial bots aren't the only ones getting action in the Navy. Swarming boats are hitting the high seas as well. Naval vessels are sometimes called high-value units, or HVUs, which means they need a complete entourage of protection. Normally, this would mean engaging about 40 sailors across a fleet of ships surrounding the HVU. But the Navy's newest escorts are small robotic guard boats that carry a variety of goodies, like loudspeakers, flashing lights, a .50 caliber machine gun, and a microwave direct energy weapon. With just a pair of remote human controllers, the guard bots can spot approaching threats using radar, sonar, lasers, and satellites, and then employ all sorts of AI-based tactics to surround and neutralize the threat. This tech may eventually trickle down to the civilian world as well. Just imagine those Somalian pirates surprised the next time they try and hijack an oil tanker protected by drones.
You know, I have one simple request, and that is to have sharks with frickin' laser beams attached to their heads.
Well, we can't get sharks with frickin' lasers because they were put on the endangered species list, and there's just a mountain of red tape. But we can put giant lasers on the decks of huge destroyers, so that's what we did. The Navy took a cue straight out of Judge Dredd's playbook and picked up some fancy new laser weapon systems, affectionately nicknamed, yeah, you guessed it, LAWs. You know those little laser pointers you can buy for like $5? Well, they put out a fraction of a watt. A really powerful one that can set ants on fire is like 1 watt. But the LAW's laser pumps out 100,000 watts of justice and can be targeted at incoming threats like drones, boats, and seagulls. Because I'm telling you, those things are filthy flying rats. Anyway, the best part is that the guy playing with the Xbox controller shooting things down gets to say, "I am the law," every time he caps somebody. And to be honest, I kind of prefer Dirty Harry.
You've got to ask yourself one question. Do I feel lucky? Well, do you, punk?
And that's what people are gonna have to be asking themselves if they're looking down the barrel of a new railgun being installed on the Navy's new DDG-1000 destroyer. Railguns don't use explosives to fire projectiles the way those cute little antique .44 Magnums do. Instead, they use electrical energy to create a magnetic field and propel a kinetic energy projectile at Mach 7.5 toward a wider range of targets, such as enemy vehicles or cruise and ballistic missiles. The weapon works when electrical power charges up a pulse-forming network made up of capacitors that release 3 to 5 million amps in just 10 milliseconds. That's enough to accelerate a 45-pound warhead from 0 to 5,000 miles per hour in 1/100th of a second. Oh, and did I mention it can fire guided projectiles more than 100 miles? And do it every 6 seconds? Although the rounds cost 25 grand each, so that's about $250,000 a minute or about $15 million an hour. But hey, who's counting, right? Well, that's it for today's episode. And John P. promised we could go shoot some guns, so I'll see you guys later. I'm Lauren, thanks so much for watching. Hey guys, where's Pablo? I think we need to take him to the firing range.